Welcome back to Tiermasters, everyone. For today's video, we've got everyone's favorite outdoor activities and indoor activities, sports. So this is not just going to be playing sports, but also even watching sports. And we're going to rate this over how enjoyable they are to play and watch at professional levels. So first up, we've got badminton. Everyone loves a good badminton game in a backyard at a cookout. I doubt a lot of people watch this professionally, but overall it's pretty fun. I'm kind of thinking B or C tier to start things off, but we're going to put it in C tier, and I think the main reason for that is if you play with inexperienced people, this can be a really difficult sport to pick up, but if you kind of get it going, it can be really fun if you have people who've played it before. So second on the list is archery. I think archery is pretty fun overall, but can be hard to learn. I think it's probably D tier just because not a lot of people are going to play it and it can be hard to get into it. Next up on our list is volleyball, and it's really fast paced and the games go by. If you ever watch collegiate volleyball or even professional volleyball, it's ridiculous how athletic everyone is. I think this is either B or A tier. I think I'm going to go with A. The action and the pace of the games are just really good, and it's even incredibly fun to play. Next up is boxing, everyone's favorite gladiator sport outside of maybe UFC. The thing about boxing is it's fun to watch, harder to play, and some people might not even want to try it. And I think it's a B tier, maybe fun to watch a pay-per-view every once in a while, but not too much outside of that. Next up is rugby. And this is a sport you've really got to be tough to play. It's not a very long game when you watch it. I think this is C tier. Swimming's pretty fun, and it's really one of the highlights of the Summer Olympics. I think most people who know how to swim enjoy swimming at least recreationally, if not competitively. This is a B tier. Cycling is definitely not for everyone, although the Tour de France is the most watched sporting event in history, I believe. And despite that, I think it goes in D just because not many people pick it up competitively. Tennis is a really good sport. You can play it alone if you don't like others, or you can play it with friends. No matter where you are, there's probably a club locally, and it's got some of the best events, such as Wimbledon, that highlight some of the best stars in the sport. This is an S tier. I see bowling as a sport that's hard to master, and I don't know many people that watch it very much. This probably goes in C tier. Golf is probably one of the most addicting sports out there, although the major downside is that it costs a lot of money to play, and because of that, some people just can't afford to ever play it that much. It does have one of the most iconic events in sports, the Masters. This is going to be a B tier. Spikeball is everyone's favorite barbecue backyard game. Maybe besides cornhole, this is going to be the most common game that you're going to see out. I think this is an A tier. Track and field is one of those that's really fun to watch, less fun to actually do. There are tons of different events, and some are incredibly diverse, like the decathlon. This is probably a B or C, and judging off of what's already there, this probably goes in B. So I think this next one is gymnastics, and while it's kind of cool, a lot of the athletes are very short-lived within the sport as far as their primes go. It can be hard to pick up just based off your body type, so I think this is D. Water polo looks really interesting, but the water just makes things 10 times more difficult. This is a C tier. While the concept is cool, it's really hard to move around, and half the time you're going to risk drowning because someone's trying to get the ball. Basketball's almost become as global of a sport as soccer. While it may not be as popular globally, it is definitely a sport that everyone can have fun watching, even if you don't know anything about the game. There are so many skill levels and opportunities that anyone can just pick up a ball and go to their rec and have fun. This is an S tier. Table tennis is a sport that takes a lot of time to master, and if you have a buddy, this can be really fun to play. It's surprisingly also really good to watch. I think this is an A tier sport. If you live in America, you probably know there's nothing quite like football. At the same time, it's not the easiest sport on the body to play. Because of that, this is going to go in A tier because it's fun to watch and can be fun to play, but it's going to hurt. Due to the popularity of soccer, I think I'd be doing it a disservice to not put it in S tier. Even if you don't play or watch soccer, you probably know of Ronaldo or Messi or even one of the older GOATs. So many people around the world play it, and it doesn't take much. You just kind of need a ball and an area to serve as a goal, and you're good to go. There are different types of hockey, but for this, I'm probably going to stick with ice hockey. For those that live in colder areas, this is more popular, but I think it's a B tier. It's really fun to watch, and hockey probably has one of the most underrated atmospheres when you go to a professional game. Personally, I am a baseball connoisseur, but if I'm just being honest, it doesn't really offer much. The pace is really slow, and although the sport's gotten better, it's really a hard sport to pick up if you haven't played from a young age, and there are more entertaining sports to watch for those that haven't gone deep down the rabbit hole. This is a C tier. Now, before I stick cross country straight in a D tier, let's get something straight. There is one cool thing about it, and that's wherever you're running, there might be really cool scenery. Besides that, you're just running, and I know I put track and field in B, but at the end of the day, it's possible that you're just doing cross country because you're either just trying to get a workout in, or you play another sport like soccer, and you just want to stay in shape, and so for that reason, it's going to go in D tier. Lacrosse is not a sport that's necessarily available in all areas. It still has some popularity. Even if you don't know what they're doing, it can be cool to just watch them throw the ball across the field, but I find it confusing. I think this also goes in D tier. So there you have it. Let me know what your favorite sport is and which sports I got completely right and wrong on the list. I'll see you in the next one.